Let's go out there with a bunch of crazy dogs.
My camera. How about them Giants? How about them Giants? How about them Giants?
Woo! What's happening, people? Welcome to another episode of Giants Rush, where we talk about Giants football, right? 50 weeks of the year. We're always here. You're always there. Thanks for hanging out with us. I see a couple of you guys starting to pile in the room right now. Thanks for hanging out with us. Let's recap yesterday. The Giants, they win. Whether you like it or not, we'll talk about those reasons in a minute. Giants beat the Cowboys at home 34-17 to end the 2025 football season. Another disappointing season, without a doubt. Without a doubt. There were some bright spots. Definitely some bright spots with Dart, Scattaboo, maybe Wandale, Burns. There were some major disappointments with Dex, Tay-Banks, I don't know, Hyatt, Neal, Gano, right? Shane coming back. Lots of disappointments there, too, to talk about. And we're going to kind of go through that here in a minute. We've got Ryan Dunleavy in the house. We've got Sean in the house. We got Spartan Mike in the house. We might have Christian popping in a little bit later, helping us produce this up. And we're going to get into studs and duds here in a minute. But let me go over a couple things for you. We're going to talk about Dart Rookie of the Year. We're definitely going to talk about Wandale. We're definitely going to talk about drafting a wide receivers, a little bit what Neighbors is up to. And also, it's Black Monday. Callahan, Raheem Morris, Kevin Stefanski, Pete Carroll, Jonathan Gannon, all fired today. So all those things happened. And the easiest place to start off is why it's good to be me.
It's good to be the king.
And guess who else is back? Not just is it good to be the king. This dude just, I can't even describe to you what he did, but he did it. Has to do with some money and accounting and tests and banking and all those complex things. You know what? Spartan Mike would make a good GM. And we've got Spartan Mike. He's even proving that he's smart by wearing a jacket. He's showing us up and he's wearing a jacket to the podcast. Let's bring in Spartan Mike.
This is Sparta!
You're right, Craig. You're right. What I did was I marched into the Timex Center today and I demanded Joe Shane's job because I dressed like him and thought that that's all you need to do. And I said I could probably make a few less crappy picks than Shane does because Shane's really bad and he got to keep his job. If I did as bad as Shane, I wouldn't get to keep my job. What about you, Craig? Would you be able to keep your job?
I would definitely not be able to keep my job.
That's right.
Well, I'm going to show your mug on here because I hit your old intro. Here's your new intro. That's your new intro. And of course, awesome. It's awesome. Of course, it's all because Christian hooked us up. Let's bring in Sean.
Call me.
And let's bring in Sean. There he is. What's up, dude?
So, in honor of the Giants making the decision they made today with Joe Shane, I'm wearing my Forrest Gump jersey because stupid is as stupid does.
You know, that's really weird that you even brought that up because I literally watched Forrest Gump last night for the first time, and it's gotta be 10 years.
Yeah, well, it's appropriate. And listen, we all know I love the Giants. I was born into being Giants fan. Absolutely love them. It pains me to even say what I have to say most of the time on here. What I had to tweet out today that they are now that it's an embarrassment. They have become an embarrassment.
Yep.
Well,
And I hope they prove me wrong.
No.
And I want to find out if my guy Ryan missed me last week. So let's bring him in because I got to know if he missed me.
Well,
last week
we did fine without you. We didn't miss you at all.
I'm sure you did, but I want to know if Ryan missed me or not. That's what I want to know. I'm curious. I'm very curious. We got to bring him on. I got to hear.
I brought in Nails. I brought in Chris to hold the fort down because you guys were all busy. Spartan now is back, which is great. We're gonna bring in Ryan here, and by the way, Happy New Year to everybody. Yeah, I'm hoping all you guys didn't get arrested or throw anybody through a plate glass window, steal a car. Hope you're all still alive and your heart's pumping. Let's bring in Ryan because I know he's here because this is where Ryan. You guys can't see him in the back in the green room, but his music is so good. It just changes the whole dynamic of being a Giants fan and rooting for them, right? Watch what happens to your mood right here. Ready? See, I can see Ryan in the background there. What's up, Mr. Dunleavy?
What's up?
What's happening, my friend?
You can
Happy
tell
New
I
Year.
never played. You could probably tell I never played the guitar, but that was.
That's okay. It's okay. You've got another profession. You don't need to play the guitar because you're the insider. You're the one that giving us scoops all year, telling us what's going on. And we'll get to studs and duds here in a second.
Who plays? Who's better, Joe Shane at player personnel or me at guitar?
You a guitar.
You a guitar.
Yeah, you're an air guitar for sure.
Yeah, because you look like you're having fun doing nothing, where he does nothing and always looks like he's having fun.
Yes.
That paycheck hits his bank account, Joe Shane. I'm sure he's always having fun. He probably can't believe he doesn't get fired. He's like, these idiots, I've been swindling them for years.
You know what, Spartan? I will say this before we get into studs and duds. This is what I said this to Ryan and Chris last week. I'd love to be a fly on the wall and know what that cat does for at least 6 of 8 hours a day. What could he possibly be doing? Because if I told you it's the kicker, the kick returner, it's the defensive back, it's the middle linebacker, we lose players, they go out, and we don't replace them with anyone. Like, there's no moves being made. There's no negotiating. This dude has got his feet kicked up playing Legos with his kids.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen what he does on the on Hard Knocks, right? And he parts ways with good players, makes 2 bad moves, makes 1 good move, and we go in the wrong direction. So and everybody points to the good moves, a good reason to stay. It's like, but there's a lot of bad moves, and there's not enough good moves. And this is where the Mara ownership and God bless Mara. I know he's going through a lot, but this is where ownership falls flat. They just don't know when to hire and fire people.
Maybe a little less time at college games, a little more time in the office on the phones, maybe. Just a thought. I know he goes to a lot of college games, but do we need him to go as many college games? Maybe, try a little different approach this year.
Anything.
Ryan, can I ask something?
Sure.
You're going to jump the gun and just start to show up with your own question?
I mean, man passes the test, wears his suit, thinks he can do whatever he wants, right?
It's Joe Shane Day. Let's go. That's what people.
That's right. I dressed like Joe Shane at Ole Miss on the sidelines. Like, give me a break, Craig. Got extra.
Ask away.
You know what?
Ask away.
I will defer to you. Please do.
Ryan, how much do you believe Joe Shane's retention had to do with the fact that Mara had ailing health and they perhaps looked at it like, oh, he's not doing well, and we don't want to make a big shakeup right now. We're not in a good position to.
That's a fastball, huh? Shit. I don't know the answer to that. So, like, anything I say would be pure speculation on my part. I don't know that I want to speculate on his health. Look, I don't know. Again, I don't know. I think It's our job to connect dots. It certainly would seem like the Giants are an organization that craves stability. I think that everybody knows that. They don't have stability at head coach because they don't have one. They don't have stability at ownership because John is sick. So the one place they can get it is general manager. So I think you're well within your right to put 2 and 2 together there and get 4, but I don't know that. Like if John was in perfect health and it was a year ago, does that mean Joe Shane wouldn't have stayed? I don't know that because the Giants wanted to keep Joe Shane. What the Giants did today was they predetermined a decision and then they looked for a path to get there instead of like taking the evidence and letting it lead to a conclusion. They had the conclusion and said, now what can we use to justify keeping him? That's what they did. So I can't say that it's related to John Mara's health. You can make that assumption and I can't refute it.
Fair enough. There's enough there to chew on for you, Spartan, since you started the show with your own path.
So I came in here with vengeance. I'm tired of
That was
being
100 mile an hour.
keyboard warrior.
That was
Yeah,
100 mile an hour fastball to my head.
Yeah, Ryan, you said you can ask it. You weren't.
No. Spartan, we usually got to warm up with Ryan. So we normally warm up and we start off with something simple like this.
Hey, baby, let's go out there like a bunch of crazy dogs and have some fun.
Boom. Welcome to Giants Rush, where we always start off with studs and duds, but Spartan decided to derail us there because he's wearing a suit jacket. But we're back on track, and we have studs and duds where we tell you who sucked, who was great. Giants come off with a win. Half of you people don't like it. Half of you people do. Most of you are whining and crying and complaining and just boo-hoo-hoo. No one should have played. They should have forfeited 2 games. Whatever. Try getting out of the house and playing some sports. You'll find that in a competitive atmosphere, no one's quitting. And there was plenty of people on both sides of the ball. You like JMS, Wandale Robinson, a bunch of guys all sat. It's a football game. We won. That's the way it turned out. The only move you could have made was you could have sat Dart at halftime. But doesn't mean that Jameis Winston doesn't go in there and throw 4 touchdowns. Right, Sean? We already said that earlier.
Right,
There's no guarantee Winston doesn't do that.
Wandale Robinson has a fractured rib, so he wasn't sitting as part of any tanking.
Fair enough. So let's start off with the studs of the game. Sean, what do you got for me? You watched the game. Was entertaining, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'll never complain or be mad about the Giants beating the Cowboys ever.
Fair enough.
I go way back. Cowboys are a bigger rival, bigger hatred for me, the Cowboys than the Eagles. I hate the Eagles, but Cowboys. So I'll never be mad about the Giants beating the Cowboys ever. But what I saw, what I liked, and I think we did this once earlier, so I'm going to break a little rule, sir, but I'm going to give it to the entire offensive line because a couple of reasons. Number one, Tarwin Tracy Jr. went over 100 rushing yards in the game yesterday. Dart did what he did during the game. He had time. That Cowboys defense played their starters on their D-line, which was a formidable D-line. And I'm also giving to O-line because they finished the season 4th best pass block efficiency in the NFL. We have an O-line, and I refuse to hear anybody says our O-line is not good anymore, or they stink, or they all need to be replaced. As a cohesive unit, our O-line will finish more than likely in the top 10 if whoever does their grading does it the right way. And if you finish 4th in pass block efficiency when we were putrid 2 years prior, and prior to that with pass blocking, yeah, you get my game, but you get my stud of the game.
I like that too because as a unit, whether they're old or young, whether they're all pro or not all pro, that unit came together really nicely, you know, and a lot of guys like John Runyon Jr. and Van Roten don't get a lot of credit. It's usually Thomas and it's Illuminor, which we get it.
Right.
But John Runyon Jr. and Van Roten have come along nicely. Are they going to make any Pro Bowls? No. Are they going to eventually be replaced in the next year to 2 years? Probably. But right now, there's building blocks, right?
Exactly.
There's building
Yep.
blocks. They've set a standard on how these guys work together. Again, top 15 offensive line, maybe top 10 offensive line in some categories. And then the backups with Stinney and Schlottman. These guys are all playing good football. Not great football, but good football, and dramatically better than it has. I like your stud. Spartan, what do you got for me for your stud?
I'm just going to give this guy credit because I don't know what's going to happen to him, but interim defensive coordinator Bullen.
You're going coach too? Okay.
No, I'm going coach. I'm actually really happy with what I saw. And look, don't get me wrong, the last few weeks we've been playing backup quarterbacks or really lousy teams or whatever the situation might be. But like when I watch the defense, run defense is still pretty weak, but we start getting turnovers, and people don't really talk about it with Wink. Was Wink that good of a defensive coordinator straight up? Nah, not particularly, but the turnovers are what made us really good and make the playoffs that first year. And actually that next year should have been the indicator that we were going to be bad without him, because we were the only team to not make the playoffs with as good of a turnover margin as we had in the year 2023. We didn't get any turnovers last year. We barely had any this year leading up to the last couple weeks. Saw some turnovers the last few weeks, and I like to see it. So, props to him. I don't want him to come back as the full-time defensive coordinator. I'm not there, but this is what I wanted to see when I was last on the show when we were talking about it. I did want to see how this defense would react to a different defensive coordinator, and I do like what I've seen.
Well, I got to tell you, as a surprise, didn't see that coming, but I like it, right? Burns and a couple of those guys have talked really highly of him, right? What do they call him?
Carter.
Chuck?
Yeah, guys are getting played in the right positions at this point. And Sean, you've been stressing that for a while now.
I asked Kafka about it today, about Charlie's fingerprints on it, and the number one thing he said without hesitation is he made the defense less complicated, which has allowed guys to play faster, which is why you're seeing the rash of turnovers. So he didn't have to say that. He could have said word salad, and without hesitation, he said less complicated. So that makes me think guys who are overthinking, and they have some. Let's say this nicely. They have some guys on the team that can't afford to overthink. So,
got some brain cell shortages.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well,
Ryan, it's interesting you bring that up because you brought that up on the offensive side of the ball, Dable. It was too complex of an offense. So I'm intrigued. It was like both sides of the ball.
Maybe that's why Dayball liked Bowen.
Could be. Craig, back to you. Sorry, I am gun jumping you quite
no, it's fine.
Right?
It's fine. It's fine. It's all good.
Sean told me to.
I'm gonna go with a stud, even though it wasn't a big body of work yesterday. This guy just continues to say, "You guys screwed me. Look how good I can look at the contributions I can make," and that's Daniel Bellinger. It doesn't matter.
I would bet my whole savings that that was going to be his stud.
Because
I would have bet my savings.
It's week after week after week. 1 play, 4 plays, 5 plays, 14 plays. He does exactly what he's supposed to do. Just the Giants won't let him play. So he's going to go somewhere else. And I hope he has a great career. Is he a top 10 tight end? No, but it just proves you're talking about what do you have, a 28-yard touchdown run yesterday?
It was a great it was a great touchdown play. Absolutely. And if the Giants continue to use him and Theo together like they did earlier in the year, it would have been a great 1-2 combination, but they got away from it. Why? I don't know. But I agree with you. Use Belly, use Theo at the same time. It's a mismatch for most defenses. It would have been. I don't get it.
And as much as
I surprising because that enabled the offense to actually work pretty decently without Neighbors. Like, I mean, it wasn't nearly as bad as I would have expected it to be.
Yep. And they just don't use the cat. And it doesn't make any sense. They keep trying to replace the cat at every chance they get. But when they throw him the ball, I mean, no, again, we can debate on Theo, whatever, but when you lead the NFL in drops and the tight end category, and your backup guy never drops it, and he's got huge yak, it does probably say something like this guy doesn't get down on himself. He makes the most of every opportunity he gets, which are rare. He's never cold. He comes off the bench, catches everything. And by the way, we don't have many tight ends catching 29-yard touchdowns running through tackles. So mine's going to Belly just because he didn't quit. He didn't give up. He didn't say, man, I can't wait till this is over. You know what he said? He said, you know what? Jackson Dart is exciting, and I don't know what he's going to do every week. You know what I mean? Like some I'm paraphrasing there. Something along the lines. He gave Dart a really good compliment. Ryan probably knows what the quote is, but I'm giving it to Bellinger. How about you, Mr. Dunleavy? What do you got?
I'll just say Belly's I've been doing this 7 or 8 years. One of the best people, most underrated players, and most accountable guys in the locker room that I've dealt with in 8 years. Yep. Just a really good person, quality football player, could probably play 10 years in this league, and a guy who always has time for the media and has no problem with accountability in a locker room that had problems with accountability. So certainly if I made a top 10 favorite guys of my 8 years, he'd be on it. So
wow, love it. Your stud, Mr. Dunleavy?
I mean, how did I get to 4th and no one's picked Jackson Dart or Tyrone Tracy? Did that happen?
Well, honestly I thought Sean would have went with Tracy.
Yeah. I'm going to split it. So first of all, 1,000 yards from scrimmage is a made up stat. Okay. That's not a real stat, but it means something to Tyrone Tracy and it means something to the Giants. So he got over 1,000 yards from scrimmage for the second time in as many years. 102 rushing yards. I don't know the last time the Giants rushed for 100 had a 100-yard rusher against the Cowboys. I'm guessing it's been a while. And then had the nice touchdown catch too. And that brings me to the man who threw that ball, which is Jackson Dart. 2 weeks ago, I was on here saying he didn't look the same under Kafka as he did under Daboll. Didn't look like he was having as much fun. Didn't look like he was playing his same style. Well, he had 5 carries for 32 yards, stepped out of bounds once, got leveled once. He made the right reads. He threw 230 yards, 2 touchdown passes. I thought he basically did everything right. And the touchdown pass to Bellinger was what teams are looking for ever since Mahomes came into this league. You hear the term off-schedule playmaking in every single draft conversation you have. That's a Mahomes term. That's what Dart has. He just makes something out of nothing. But then the Tracy touchdown pass was traditional quarterbacking. That was like look a defender off, old school quarterbacking. So he did a little bit of both. That should excite you yesterday.
And he zipped it in a small little window between the safety and the corner. Yeah. That was a great ball. Mm-hmm. Great ball.
Great catch too.
Yeah, I actually thought it got on him really quick, Sean, and hit him in the hand, and I didn't think he was quite ready for it because the ball got on him pretty quick.
Tyrone Tracy doesn't get enough love from the fan base either. Like him and Scatterbo together are going to be a really great 1-2 punch.
As long as Sean, as long as they can handle it. Those are like as long as they can handle it. Like if they're a 1-2 punch, that's fine. But Scatterbo is going to be the one getting the commercials and the fanfare on Twitter. Tracy's going to have a real, and I don't know, he might. But he's going to have a really special personality because he's a good player. So he's a true 1-2 like Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet in Seattle could work. But a 1-2 where one guy is famous and one guy isn't could be hard.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. And the thing is, too,
I'm sorry. I cut you off, Sean. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I'm just saying, like, that was he needs to get more love from the fan base because he's a great receiver out of the backfield. So is Scatterbo. And it's a nice change of pace. Like, he doesn't get, I don't know why he doesn't get the support from the fan base like he should. And he definitely should. And I think we have a very good backfield going next year. We got to eliminate one of the guys in the backfield and it'll be even better. But I think those are the 2 guys that you need to have next year. And I'm not looking to draft a running back. I don't want to draft a running back next year. Go with those 2 guys because those 2 guys are dogs and they want to win and they want to turn this thing around. And that's who you want on the team.
I'm with that. I mean, you could, and by the way, I think Tracy's just like, if you go back to the, he's very Derek Ward-esque, you know what I mean? Where he does his job, he smiles, and then he goes off the field, right? Like, so a different type of personality, where Scatterbo, he gets the attention because of his physicality, right? and his craziness and what he brings to the table. Where Tracy's more of that smooth type of player, right? Does the job and then smiles and goes off the field. I think it's going to be a good 1-2 punch too. So
I want to, Ryan, I want to see if you know this or not. If you don't, I apologize. I'm going to try and put you on the spot. But there was an interesting quote from Garner Olszewski where Dart changed the play because Olszewski needed 2 yards to go 100 yards receiving, I guess. And then Tracy did the same thing. So do you know if he changed it to make sure that Tracy got the 100 yards?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
All right.
I think Olszewski got the 100 yards plus though.
He did. He got 102.
He did because Dart changed the play for him. So I'm wondering if Dart did the same thing for Tracy.
I don't need to tell you guys this. That goes an enormous freaking. We've all seen the Rob Gronkowski, Tom Brady video, right? Where Brady got him a extra 500 grand or whatever. When QBs go out of their way to take care of their guys' stats, that goes an enormous way in a locker room.
Yep.
That's the kind of thing that if Gunner's here next year, he'll run into a brick wall for Jackson Dart.
Absolutely.
Which we will talk about that in a couple of minutes. That's a prelude there to a topic that's coming. All right, then let's roll into the duds because these are always the most fun part of the show. Spartan, who's your dud of the game? It's the same dud every week. I can't believe you don't even realize it.
Oh, Banks. Banks is an easy one. So I'm going to steal him if not available. I mean, I don't know if you saw Justin Pennick's video. The dude just it's like he doesn't even care.
He's so awful.
Why does he not care? Like, the dude gives no effort. And I'm so sick of just watching the Giants even bother playing him. I know we don't really have any players left to play, but he sucks. And he gives no effort. I am so sick and tired of watching him play because one thing if it was just talent.
Did you guys see Carl Banks tell me he's in the right spot for leverage? I mean, Carl knows more football. Carl's forgotten more football than I know. So that might be true. He might be in the right spot, but I know it. I don't need to know leverage and alignments and whatnot to know what a tackling effort looks like. And that was not tackling.
Yeah. I mean, that guy's lazy beyond belief. So I want him off the team ASAP.
You're going to get
or just move him the offense because he gives more effort on kick returns.
Wish.
So move him the offense.
He won't be on the team next year.
Yeah, right. I would keep him if he would just accept his role as a punt returner. But then I do not want to ever see him ever again on defense. Like I'm saying,
he won't be here next year.
Man,
like that kind of attitude, him and Hyatt, which is cancerous. I hate it. I hate it.
Don't get off topic there, Spartan. We gave you one run. Your run is Banks.
That's it.
Don't be getting crazy, Spartan, on your first week back here, right?
Hey, Craig, I'm not the one that talks over you. Are my friend.
Have you not been paying attention to the show,
Spartan?
I know you've been busy, but we have segments. We got an order. I mean, we got a whole way of doing things.
Yeah, I left
We're professionals, Spartan. Don't mess it up on us.
He becomes a regular on the show. What the hell is this?
I know.
Yeah, it's what I do.
By the way, I'm going to go off topic because I know you're going to go to me next, and I'm the joker. So I'm going to just Ryan. I didn't hear it. Did you miss me last week, man? At all? Like, did you know I was gone? Like, what?
I was thrilled you weren't here because because I had to eat some crow.
I missed it.
We were you should listen to your own show sometime.
Sean.
I was a little busy in New York City.
I was going to say something very inappropriate. I just saved myself.
Thank you.
I said so in so many words. We were talking about Charlie Bolin and how he's put guys in different positions. Carter shouted him out for putting him in different positions and making it easier for him to succeed. And my point was that I had beat the drum for 8 weeks that I didn't think the defense would really be any different without Shane Bowen. And I don't think it's massively different, but it's different enough that the players are talking about it. Then I was probably wrong about that. Like there probably was room to improve earlier than they did.
Fair enough. So Sean, and that's it. That's what you like. That's your dud.
No, my dud. Well, Spartan took half my dud. I was going to give a co-dud. But my next dud is another person I want off this team. And again, this is never directed at the person because it's only about the player, the performance on the field.
We get it.
So Darius Slayton gets my dud because he had yet again another drop. And yes, upon further review of watching the play, he did push off, and which negated a long touchdown. And he's guilty of that on more than one occasion. So yeah, he's my dud. He's absolutely my dud of that game. Luckily, it didn't kill momentum like it has before, and it didn't matter because it's week 18. But yeah, another drop, another just bad penalty on what negated the touchdown. I'm just over. You got to trade him. Whatever you're going to eat, it's only a $6 million cap hit. You got to get him off this team. He just can't stay. And I'm sure the next coach probably would think the same thing, but who knows?
Fair enough. I think I was kind of struggling for a dud, like something that would like really stuck out. So like, I think I'm just going to do a little combo myself. All right. I don't normally do that. I'm going to steal a little your thunder here. It's the special teams coach combo Joe Shane. You want to know why? Because it's really simple to watch this guy kick field goals all over the field from any length. And I cannot for the life of me figure out why it took 17 weeks to figure out that, you know what? This guy's not bad. He does not. We're not asking a lot of him, but he makes them from 25, 35. He makes them from 42, 47. But we don't let this dude kick. We let everybody else kick. And then I'm like, you know what? Maybe Shane's just clueless. The special teams coach has to be like, yo, time out. This guy sucks. We can't let this guy kick. He may do something stupid like kick the ground before kicking the ball like Charlie Brown. And it happens. And then it happens. This guy comes in and and every time he gets up there, I'm like, there's no way this guy's making it. And he keeps making the freaking kick. Oh my goodness. Someone in the special teams department and Shane should just literally I don't know how you would, what did he say today about stubbing his toe? I'm like, dude, if you consider what you did in the kicking game alone, stubbing your toe, we got bigger problems. We got bigger problems. So God. Kicking. Anyway.
All right, Ryan. Did we leave you anybody, Ryan, for a dud? Or
There's really, I'm looking through the box score as you guys talk. I mean, there's really here. I guess I'll go with no. You know what? He was sick.
Outside that interception,
Ryan, go ahead and if they were
why
sick, they were playing.
While you're waiting for that,
who?
Guys talking about Slayton's cap. It depends on when they trade him. If it's before a certain date or after a certain date, I think Brad had said that to us. If it's before a certain date, it's one amount.
Before June 1st. Yeah, before June 1st and after June 1st.
Yeah,
right. I forget which one's better.
Before June 1st is better.
By the way, Hyatt. Why Ryan's contemplating on his dud because they played so well that he can't find one.
I actually can't believe that. That's never happened.
Normally you have like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to throw this
out. It's easier
there.
when we lose, isn't it? When we actually beat Dallas by 17. I know we weren't playing Dak, but like, but what went wrong? I don't know.
Hyatt is due $1.4 million, and he's got a dead.
Ryan, give it to the person I know who you want to give it to. The person who is retained today. You can give it to him. Go ahead.
Give it to him.
Joe Shane. I got enough to say about Joe Shane when we get to Black Monday or whatever. I guess whatever. I'll give it to Dexter Lawrence. He was sick, and it's not even about yesterday's performance. I think he played 14 out of the 54 snaps. If he could have played more, I'm sure he would have, because he needed to play 38 to get a $500,000 bonus. So I'm sure if he could have played more, he would have. It's just about the whole season. He went the whole season. I didn't know he got 2 that were wiped out by penalty, but he went the whole season without a full sack. That's just incredibly, it's unacceptable. It's shocking to me. He's before the season, I wrote a huge story about how he's like one of the best players in the NFL and a total one of a kind specimen. So I didn't see this coming. Just honestly, it's crazy because he got double teamed a lot, but he got double teamed a lot last year. So just really for the whole season, Dexter Lawrence, and that's not a shot at yesterday because, like I said, he was sick. But for the whole disappointing season, Dexter Lawrence.
We do think, but like that he's injured, right? That there is an injury with that elbow that needs to be worked on in the offseason?
We'll find out. I don't know. I don't know. Like Dexter Lawrence is pretty honest with us as far as guys go. Like, Adoree Jackson once made up a whole story on the spot. Like, the end of that. What's that Kevin Spacey movie where you find out at the end that he made up the whole story or whatever?
Kaiser Soze?
Yeah. What is that?
Yeah.
Unusual Suspects. Right?
Usual Suspects.
Usual
Yeah.
suspects.
Usual
Yeah,
Suspects.
Adoree Jackson once did that to us in the locker room. He like made up a whole story that we believed. Dexter Lawrence is about as honest as can be, and he insisted he wasn't injured. So I guess I didn't believe him for most of the season. I guess I'll take him at his word. So if he wasn't injured, then this can't be what he is now.
Yeah. I will say it struck me by, you ever like notice something that you've looked at for so long and then you look at it again, like the 20th time you look at it, you see something new? Well, the beginning of the show for Rush, I have a 47-second opening, and there's a shot of Dexter Lawrence in there from like 4 years ago. Again, I don't know anything on what it takes to be an NFL player, especially a defensive tackle, but the man looks like he swallowed a basketball compared to like what he was just 3 years ago. So I'm wondering if just maybe the extra weight, I'm sure he did it for power and, but I'm wondering if he's just a little too heavy right now, right? I mean, because I look at him from 3 years ago, and he was, I don't know, 340. He's got to be 360, 370 now. He just looks.
Oh, he's certainly larger. I asked him what he weighed at one point this year, and he didn't want to say. So,
yeah,
he put on that sympathy weight. That's what happened.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if that's a little bit too. He just doesn't have that quick pop that he usually has at 340, right?
Mm-hmm. I would say that's probably more likely than the injury, to be honest.
All right, fair enough.
Probably a little bit all of that. Not being used the right way either.
That's
here's a time I thought about you guys. Sean, you always do this to me. Here's a time I thought about you guys. I asked for you guys.
All right.
I asked Dre Patterson about that. He was not having it. He was not having it. Go ahead, talk, and I'll come back. You guys talk, and I'll come back with the quote.
Okay. So we're gonna segue while Ryan's doing some homework behind the scenes here about Dart. Okay, Dart, 22 for 32, 230, 2 touchdowns. Had a real nice day. I've already said earlier in the show that I like that Dart got a chance to run 2-minute drills, red zone drills, like with live fire, right? And then the game ends, and then of course at the same time, the Saints lose, but the talk is all about Tyler Shell. If I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Shuck.
Is it Shuck? I heard it Shuck.
It's
I
Shuck.
heard it Shuck. You're going to go with
It's
Shuck?
Shuck.
Fine. Tyler Shuck, right, is going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. But to me, it doesn't even seem close because of the teams that I looked it up. I tweeted it out yesterday. The Saints play a bottom 5 schedule. The Giants have the hardest strength to schedule in the NFL. The guy took us to 5 games where there was 10 minutes left in the game, to win. We could have been an 8-win team. The guy's got 15 touchdowns, broke all these records, Cam Newton's record, all this stuff. I can't see how, and don't get me wrong, Shuck had a great year. I just don't see how they're even. So, Spartan, jump in here. Let me know what you think.
Yeah,
about this whole debate.
As far as offensive rookie of the year goes, I don't think that guy's favorite either. I thought it's McMillan,
the guy from Carolina.
Right?
Yeah, the receiver. Yep.
And I'll be honest with you, I haven't really paid that much attention to Carolina. The one thing to note there is that they had a little bit of a turnaround, right? They went from generally one of the worst teams to decent improvement, and I think what people probably would have had to have seen more of from Dart, and this is not completely on Dart. Eventually, we will need to see it. But when the defense is bad, there's so much crap going on. There's so many issues going on within the building. He can't control the special teams. So many things outside of Dart's control. People are going to see the wins and kind of go to where the wins are and couple that with how these guys are playing. So, you look at the news. You saw that Tyler Souch or whatever led the Saints to victory. Chuck. That's a stupid name. You see that he led him to victory. It's going to weigh a little bit more with sports writers in general. In the meantime, with Dart, I don't really care that he didn't win Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Well, they didn't vote on it yet.
Well, they didn't vote on it. He's not.
I have one of the 50 votes.
Oh,
there you go, Mr. Dunleavy. Let's go.
There's 50 national votes. I have one of them.
All right, we're talking to one.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I cannot reveal until the award show who I voted for, but I will tell you that my top 3 in any particular order is Shuck, Dart, and Tet McMillan from the Panthers. So those were my top 3 guys. I can't really say much more. I will say I tweeted something stupid last week. Accountability check that I tweeted something stupid that I thought Shuck was having the best year of all the rookie quarterbacks, and it wasn't even close. It's obviously close. I'm not even sure why. I think I was just thinking like as a passer, because he had back-to-back like 330-yard games.
He did.
And Dart is, but that's not Dart. Dart's not going to be judged on just his passing numbers. He's not that kind of player. So
you know what, Ryan? And he also doesn't have any 3 touchdown or 4 touchdown games. Dart's got a 4 touchdown game and 2 3 touchdown games.
Yes.
Like he produces.
Correct. So in much the same way, there was a stat I loved going back years. Daniel Jones until this year didn't have a 3 touchdown game since the end of his rookie season. So he went like 6 years without a 3 touchdown passing game. But in that span, he had 4 touchdown games where 2 were rushing and 2 were passing. He just didn't pass for 3 touchdowns. Right. And I think that's what Dart is going to be. It's going to be very rare. Whereas the 3 passing touchdown game, it might be 2 and 1 or 1 and 2. So it's going to be hard to compare them because Shuck is going to be more of a pocket passer. I do think it's close. I think it's very close between the two. You can't go raw stats because Shuck played significantly less games. He became the starter much later in the season. But I do think it's very close between them. And who I give the edge to probably changes from week to week.
Because you bring up an interesting point there, Ryan, with the difference between the two. I will say this though for Dart, and I am certainly not Mr. Toot the Giants players' horns more than I should. I'm very curious to see how he does with a different offense coordinator next year. Because if there's one thing that was really bad under Kafka, especially bad, it was kind of the mix of plays as they got close to the red zone, and not even so much the red zone as much as within 10 yards. I was just joking with Sean behind the set before we got started. The most painful thing is when we would get tackled at the 4-yard line because you knew damn well we weren't going to score a touchdown there. And, to your point, he didn't have that many passing touchdowns this year, but I'm kind of curious to see what a different mix of plays would bring him potentially in the future.
Agreed.
I mean, the guy didn't play every game. What do you wind up with? 22 touchdowns. I mean, again, guys have different talents, right? If he's scoring touchdowns and winning games, what are we going to do? Hold him to Josh Allen stats? I don't know.
No.
And he didn't have Chris Olave to throw to. Or
that's not
Johnson.
That's not fair. I mean, Wan'Dale Robinson had just as many yards as Chris Olave. They just look different.
I'm looking for the
True. And I like Wan'Dale. We all know that, but
yeah.
So you think, Ryan, there's a good chance he makes it. This is not going to be a landslide by somebody.
A good chance he makes what?
He wins offensive rookie of the year.
I wouldn't say there's a good chance he wins. There's a good chance he's a finalist. I think it's 3 finalists. I'd say there's a good chance he's a finalist. I wouldn't say there's a good chance he wins. I think any of the 3 I named could win.
Here's the final stats between him and Shuck. 12 starts for Dart, 10 for Shuck. Completion percentage, 63 Dart, 67 Shuck. Passing yards, 2,200. If you want to get technical, 2,272 for Dart, 2,384 for Shuck. Total yards, 2,759 for Dart, 2,570 for Shuck.
Very
passing TDs, 15 for Dart, 10 for Shuck. Total TDs, 24 for Dart, 13. He only had 13. 13 total TDs. Give me a break.
Hey, Craig, look, even if there's an edge leaning towards Schalke, let me say this. Would you rather, even if you're arguing who had a better rookie year, I think it's pretty clear that you'd rather build your team around Dart, than you would around Schalke, to be honest with you. And the reason I say that is there's a significant age difference, 26 versus 22. By the time Dart's signing his second contract, he's going to be 26. Now, the Broncos quarterback is also a little bit on the older end. So if things weren't even, if Schalke was doing way better, then it'd be a different story. But if all things are even, which is kind of what it's coming down to, and this guy wins the award, I mean, I'm so glad the Giants got Dart over Schalke any day.
I don't think Shark's going to win it. I think Tet will win it. And the reason I think Tet will win it is because Carolina went from one of the worst teams in the league last year to now winning the division this season. And he made a big difference in that happening. So I know we're talking Dart and Shuck, and I'd take Dart over Shuck, but I do think Tet is going to win it for those reasons.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, well, let's kind of transition to something that Dart has some contributions to, and
let me give you this quote. We could say Andre Patterson told Giants rush, since I'm a contributor to this show, and I asked this question specifically because of you guys.
Yes. Woo-hoo.
Here's Andre Patterson on why Dexter Lawrence doesn't line up over the center. I don't know how people came up with that. I really don't. The only time he doesn't cover the center is third down. First and second down, he's over the center all the time. On third down, for some of our fronts, he ends up having to be the 3 technique. In some of those fronts, both of our tackles are 3 techniques. But the high volume of his reps are over the center. That hasn't changed at all from what it's been since I've been here for 4 years. So do what you will with that, but that is Andre Patterson's answer.
I mean, you can watch the games and see it, and there was also percentages put out of how much he was lined up over center. And I think Patterson doesn't. I think he thinks it's going to come on him. I don't know why he's defending.
I think
DC who's not there anymore.
But thank you for asking that, Ryan.
Yeah, that's a great question to ask.
Yeah, now I just need the actual. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to this again, and then transcribe it, and then retype it into Twitter and be like, while we were talking to Coach Patterson. By the way, he's going to make me go look at every damn snap now, because we've all agreed that he's blind over the guard half the time. Huh. I know. Thank you for doing that, Ryan. You are a friend and a scholar. Love that. Let's talk about something I noticed yesterday, and that's $14 million. Gunnar Olszewski looked pretty good. He had some preseason connections with Dart because Dart wasn't the starter and neither was Gunnar. And then we kind of always throughout the year were like, why are they jamming Hyatt in there? Or why are they putting Bo Collins in there? Why don't they just give Gunnar some reps? Then they give Gunnar some reps and the kid catches the ball. I know he's not the most, large or stout guy, but either's Wan'Dale Robinson. Do we save $14 million and let Wan'Dale go and make Gunnar the slot? Is that something that's completely far-fetched? Because he looked like he can play ball. I don't know why we're dismissing him. But I mean, I'm sure there's a reason, but
no. He's a nice added thing. It would have been nice to have early in the year, a nice backup. He does have the rapport and he runs some good routes, but you're not going to replace Wan'Dale with him. It's not the same. So no. Now, if we get rid of Wan'Dale and you have somebody else and you keep Gunnar as a backup, absolutely. But you're not going to use Gunnar to replace Wan'Dale. Sorry, it's not happening. I like Gunnar. I like what he can do. He runs good routes. He can find opening zones, but he is not the same player as Wan'Dale.
No, Robinson. And I don't think it's a 1-to-1, Sean. Like one replaces the other. But you're saying, but if you let Wan'Dale walk, you save the $14 million. You can go get 2 slot receivers for that kind of money.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that, but I mean, you got to find another hole. And if you're going to draft a receiver, fine, then you got to find somebody else. So who are you going to find to do that? It's not going to be Gunnar.
I don't know why he doesn't get snaps. I'm not saying
he's not the same. He's not the same route runner. He's not the same.
I don't know.
As Wan'Dale is. I think Ryan's chomping at the bit, wanting to say something. So
yeah, but I bet Ryan. Sean, he's faster than Wan'Dale, for the record.
Definitely.
No, he's not.
Yes.
What's his 40? Because Wan'Dale ran a 4.46.
I think he's
40.
definitely faster, but there's a lot more to being a receiver than being fast. I mean,
Right.
Jalen
I'm gonna
Hyatt's
look
the
at him.
fastest
I'm gonna
guy on
look
the
at him
team.
now.
Jalen
Right.
Jalen Hyatt's the fastest guy on the team.
Yeah.
I mean, this goes back to my Saquon argument. Stop getting rid of good players like that. Just stop doing that. Start adding good players. So you have Wandale. Great. Now you have Gunner as a backup. Now Gunner can be your fourth receiver. And then you know what? Add another receiver. Why? Stop getting rid of good players. They're gonna get rid of Illuminor, then they're gonna get rid of Rondale. Then what? Hope to replace them? How did replacing McKinney with Holland go? You have a guy, he's your homegrown guy. You know he's a good person. You know he's a good player. You know he's tough as nails for being 5'8". You have all the inside info on this guy that the Dolphins don't have. Keep him and add somebody rather than trying to get two guys the Cardinals and Raiders cast off who you don't know anything about, who might come here, get their $7 million and check out. Keep your good players. That's what the Giants don't do, and I can't figure it out. Add more. Great. Here's a crazy word. Gunner could give the Giants, what is that word again? Depth. How about that? How about depth? How about you have an extra player who can play instead of next time Wandale gets hurt? It's I saw a guy at Kmart last week that looked like he could play. Maybe we could sign it. He played at Alabama State 7 years ago. Let's go sign him. Just have extra players.
It is $15 million though, Ryan. Is that are you comfortable with that?
I'm comfortable with it if I think he's an 1,000 yard 100 catch guy. I don't know if I am, but I don't get paid to know that. They do. So if I think that's what if I think I can pencil in him for 3 years of 90 catches and 1,000 yards, then I'll pay him $15 million.
Fair enough.
Yeah. By the way,
That's
for the
what he's gonna
record,
want.
just to because I like to be that guy sometimes. Gunnar Oseski wearing a 4.56, 4.58, 40. Wandale is a 4.4.
That was before the knee injury.
Yeah,
he's still fast. He's still fast.
I mean, it might be true.
He's still
just
faster.
on the practice field, Gunner looks faster. That's all I say.
Yeah. I don't see explosion out of Wandale where I see explosion from Gunner. They're different type of runners.
I think it's an illusion, but it's okay. Some guys
it
look
might be.
faster.
It might be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I agree. Here's the thing.
I bet you Slayton's faster than both of them.
He might be.
Yeah. And again, Ryan, Sean, when you look up their 40 times, their 40 times are old. You know what I mean? Those are, they're not clocking these guys every year.
No, it's just
they're not going to change that much. And if Gunner was a 4.56 a couple years ago, he's older now. He's going to be not as fast as that. But to Ryan's point, here's the thing. Wandale is shown. This is where, from the fans, Wandale gets I get he's 5'8". I understand that. Well, he's not limited because he's 5'8". The only way that Wandale is limited is the fact that he's not 6'1". That's his limitation. And I don't want to hear about catch radius. That is an overlooked stat. It does not matter as much. He runs route. He's an excellent route runner. He can line up on the outside. He can run the outside routes. They just didn't do it until this year. Now, the other thing is Wandale put up over 1,000 yards with having guys not studs lined up next to him. So if he can do that as the number one when defenses are trying to take him away, he can do that when you have a number one receiver back there as well. That's what matters. Everybody thinks he's easily replaceable. Okay, so let me put that. Let me say, I'm saying fans. I'm not saying you fans. Trust me, I see it all over my timeline.
I think it's just the money.
He's easily replaceable. Now, in the last 15 years, there's been 5 Giants wide receivers who have hit over 1,000 yards. 5 in 15 years. Because he's he's on the Giants, so of course he's going to put.
Can you name the 5?
Odell Beckham, Hakeem Nicks, Victor Cruz, Wandale, and I forget who the 5th is right now. And it might only be 4 now that I think about it.
1,000 yards in the last 15 years?
Yeah, it might only be 4. It's either 4 or 5. But I know Beckham, Cruz.
Does Toomer make that
Nicks,
cut?
No.
Wandale, no, Toomer did not. So say what you want about he put his numbers with nobody else up, but Darius Slayton did up 1,000 yards, and he was the only wide receiver for a number of years Wandale's one of 4 or 5 guys in the last 15 years to put up 1,000 yards as a giant wide receiver. I'm tired of the Wandale hate. I get it. He's 5'8".
I think you're delusional. I don't think anybody hates the dude. I think it's the fact that's
Dude,
$15 million.
it's all over my timeline. They want to get rid of him. They don't want to resign him.
Timeline. That's
you
why.
see it in the comments now. People talking about him,
but
getting rid of him and not paying him, and he's replaceable.
The money,
I am not delusional when it comes to that.
The money's a lot of money.
I know. No,
it's really not though. It's really not. Jamar Chase makes $40 million a year. I really $50 million is a lot to me and you.
Yeah, but
but I mean, we're talking about a guy that's borderline wide
Somebody
receiver.
Said, keep in mind with Neighbors there, he's not going to make those numbers.
Hold on, Mike, hold that point. Hold on, point, because you have a good point. So hold on. Go ahead.
Sorry, Sean, go ahead. No, I was just saying, somebody in the comments now just talking about it. Like with Neighbors there, he's not going to put up those numbers. Well, last year he had 90 catches. He didn't have the yards because our quarterback was ass and didn't know how to lead him or put the ball in a good spot. So yeah, he could very easily get up to 1,000 yards. You could have 2,000-yard receivers with Wandale and Neighbors back there. Do you need a wide receiver? Absolutely. But not every wide receiver needs to be a deep threat. Not every wide receiver needs to be 6'1" or 6'2" to be deductive. Every quarterback needs that possession guy that they trust to get the first down. And Dart likes Wandale a lot and is very comfortable with Wandale. That is evident. So go ahead, Spartan. My bad.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, a couple things here. So this would be 5% of the cap space dedicated towards, so $16 million a year dedicated towards a guy that would be kind of a wide receiver 2.5, as I like to call him, right? I will say this. I'm all for him coming back if they can find a way to get Slayton off the books, because I really put this on Joe Shane of just like, dude, how'd you run out of money? How the hell did you run out of money with this team? And we have 4 freaking wins. And you know, we talk about their market value. I understand his market value is $16 million, whatever. But what's the actual intrinsic value? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Like, are we getting the money's worth out of Wandale? I go back and forth on Wandale a lot. If they bring him back, I will say this about the Giants' offense: we're not that far away from what could be a very good offense. I would argue one more serious weapon, like if they drafted a wide receiver in the first round this year. I mean, I'd be very encouraged with our offense going into next year, as long as we don't hire a Jason Garrett type offensive coach. Defense, we have an onslaught of issues in the middle of the field. So that's what makes it tough. If we lose Wandale, we do have a hole, but he's a wide receiver 2.5. So we got to figure it out, because we still have a hole at wide receiver 2. We won't have one at wide receiver 3. And I always say this: it sucks when we get rid of guys and they go ball out elsewhere. It sucks when we keep guys like Slayton and they suck here after we sign them for big money. It sucks. And the Giants have always gotten the raw end of every freaking deal with this.
Well, 2 things that make a lot of sense. One is, Joe Shane blew it by paying Slayton, because now you got to pay Wandale more than Slayton got, and Slayton's not worth the money he got, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing is he is a 2 or a quote 2.5, which is the segue, which no one's really talking about, that today was locker room clean out day, and Neighbors shows up, of course, in his brace and a cane, right? And all of a sudden,
no cane today. I think he got rid of it because he passed his exit physical. You know, he didn't need it after. I shouldn't say he passed, but he didn't need it after his exit physical. I think he's done with the cane.
Okay, because all of a sudden today, everybody's starting to realize something. You don't have a number 1 wide receiver on the team when the season starts, because Neighbors might not be ready. And it's not a little bit of a chance. There's a good chance he's not ready to go September 1st. So if you don't draft a number 1 wide receiver, or let's flip that on its head, you're drafting a number 2 to be the number 1 until Neighbors is healthy. And by the way, I don't know many cats outside of Adrian Peterson that get ACL surgery and come back better. So we're hoping Neighbors just comes back and hits the ground running. What if he doesn't? If you don't draft wide receiver 2 that can be number 1, now we're right back depending on Wandale to be number 1. You will suck again. Flat out. You need to go get a number 1 wide receiver, whether you pay Wandale or you don't. Wandale Robinson cannot be the number 1 on this team on September 1st. Don't care what people say. It cannot happen. If we're depending on Dropsy Theo to lead the league again, in drops, and Wandale is our 1 and our 2, we got problems, man. What did Ryan just say? Depth, better players. Fine. You got Gunner to back up Wandale. Awesome. You need a number 1 that can move to number 2.
My ideal receiving core for the Giants next year would be Neighbors 1, when healthy, probably like week 4. Wandale starts the season as the 2, and then either a first round pick or a second round pick, no later than a top 40 player as the 3 receiver. Maybe Gunner as 4, or some other veteran as 4, and Gunner as 5.
Hodgins.
Hodgins. Yep. That's a good one. Hyatt's gone, and Slayton traded. So yeah, I would say a 1-2-3 of Neighbors, Wandale, and a top 40 draft pick. And I'm not against it being a top 5 draft pick. So
here's the only problem with Hodgins is he did well in this offense. So if you have a new coach, new scheme,
yeah,
you don't know if he's going to do the same thing, right?
Hodgins are a dime a dozen. Like you could find a,
That's what I mean. No, that wasn't directed at you, Ryan. That was directed.
You could find a fourth receiver. You could find a fourth receiver better than Jalen Hyatt. So
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, because that's we can all play around with it. If you don't draft a wide receiver in the first or second round, don't expect more than 5-6 wins again. You can't compete.
Correct. I agree. You're stunting Dart's development if you do that.
Yeah. All of that stuff is just very, 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 very true. Give me a little bit more, Ryan, on Neighbors, what you heard, what you saw.
Yeah, I was there. Said he's the most important thing he said is he isn't playing until his body feels right. So he is not rushing himself back. This is kind of like Andrew Thomas last year. He was not going to put himself in a position to get injured worse. So he was not incredibly optimistic about the start of the season or training camp. It sounded like he's going to want to be 100%. We know how cautious he played last offseason with a foot injury, and this is much more serious than the foot injury. So now look, he said he's confident he'll be back to being the same player, said he's going to attack the rehab between Dallas and here. If I was the Giants, I'd much prefer he did it here. There are people around the league who will wonder how he will attack a rehab like this because it's his first major time being injured. So we'll see how he comes back. It'll be a major storyline of the year. He did show a little bit of emotion when he said, somebody asked him if he wants to be used like Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson. And he's like, no, I want to be used like Malik Neighbors. Like I want people to want to be used like me. I don't want to compare myself to them. I want people to compare themselves to me. So I thought that was a little taste of the edge that Malik Neighbors has that separates him, I think.
Which is a good thing.
We need.
Yes.
Yeah, we need
no,
that.
the Giants need more of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Abdul Carter has that. They need more of that. They need less. You can be respectful without being nice, if that makes sense. They need more. They need less nice guys. More like Justin Tuck had an edge to him, but he was like the nicest guy in the world. You need guys like that.
Yeah, but if he crossed you, he'd throw you out of a moving car.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, well, let's talk about the biggest issue that we have. Season's over. We're moving on. It's Black Monday, right? We've got all sorts of things unfolding. I read off the list. I will read the list off for you again. Callahan from the Titans got his pink slip today, actually yesterday. Raheem Morris from the Falcons, and by the way, the GM also went there. Kevin Stefanski from the Browns, Pete Carroll from the Raiders, Jonathan Gannon from the Cards, who was there 3 years, which blew my mind because I didn't realize he was there 3 years.
Runner-up Lou Anarumo.
Why you got to do that? I am so trying to ignore that guy.
He was the runner-up for behind Gannon. Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah.
I'm like anytime somebody says that guy's name, I cringe. I'm like, I don't even want to pretend it's there.
Guys, I got 5 minutes.
Yeah, no problem. The Titans have a QB. The Falcons have a QB. The Browns have 90 QBs. What are we hearing, Ryan? I know Stefanski's getting thrown around. Harbaugh's getting thrown
Yeah.
around. What are you hearing?
Well, Harbaugh's still employed, and I'm not sure he's leaving. People I know who know people who know people who know people who are inside the Ravens would say that there's a chance, but that one could take it 2-3 days. Like we've seen coaches get fired 2 or 3 days into the week, when it's a deliberation. I think Joe Judge might have taken 2 or 3 days when it's a close call. So it's possible Harbaugh gets fired. If that happens, he will be 1A, 1B, whatever on the Giants list. Job won't be his, but I'd call him the favorite I'd call him his to lose if he gets fired.
Is it public knowledge, Ryan, why he wants out? Because the story I heard this weekend, why he wants out is outrageous. Do you know why there's a rift?
No, I don't. I just the Baltimore Sun report that him and Lamar butt heads. That's
the word on the street is that Lamar is staying up too late at night playing video games.
I think that. Yeah, I've heard that's been out. I don't know if that was reported by somebody legit or on Twitter or something, but that has made its way to me. Yeah. That he's playing too many video games. Yeah.
So they had to move practice to the afternoon.
I did hear this.
Practice in the morning.
I did hear this. I forget where. I don't know if it's. I don't know if I can't confirm that. I have no idea. Stefanski is top of the board too. They really like experience. It's not experience or bust. But experience will be a tiebreaker. I think if there's candidates that they like, they don't want to have to hold somebody's hand through this process. So I think that works in his favor. His offensive background works in his favor. The fact that Dart liked him in the pre-draft when he was with Cleveland works in his favor. The fact that he's got Jersey roots and knows the area and can go in and say, I know how tough the media can be here. They were tough on my dad when he was the Nets general manager. That'll work in his favor. The fact that Pat Shurmur wanted him to be his offensive coordinator in 2018, and there's still plenty of people in that building from 2018 who remember that'll work in his favor. So he'll definitely be near the top of the list. And then it's all the people that we've been spitting around here for a month or two. Okay. It's all the Kubiaks, Halfley, Minter. Oh, Minter's a guys, he came up to me. I mentioned him on the show before, but somebody, when the Seahawks won that game, I got a text from somebody that said, Jesse Minter's the next Mike McDonald. So he's like, they're the same person. So he's a name I think you should watch out for. I think if he gets in a room, he'll interview very well. So
and Shula.
And Shula. Yep. And Kubiak. I mean, remember, the rules are a little different. Like, this is going to be a drawn-out process. The NFL has made this hard to hire somebody really quickly. When you can interview guys who are on playoff teams, when you can interview guys who have buys, virtual, in person. So, like, Stefanski can interview this week. McCarthy can interview this week because they're not employed. Kubiak and Davis Webb, if he's on the lists, can interview virtually this week, but none of the wildcard teams. You can't talk to Minter or Shula. You can't talk to any of those guys this week.
Interesting. Interesting. Love it. All right. Well, we'll wrap up that segment. I mean, I don't know even what to say. I'm excited for what's going to happen because I know you're going to hit us up and go, hey, I got some breaking news for us, and you're going to want to be on and tell us more stuff. So we'll definitely. And by the way, thank you for the season. We had a great year.
Yeah,
we should.
Yeah,
we,
appreciate you, Ryan.
Yeah,
Fun.
I should have hit you up even earlier. And if you're game, we're gonna keep the party rolling. If you're into it, we're gonna do it. So you and I can have a offline conversation. If you're still interested, we'd love to have you.
Yeah, we can figure something out. Maybe it's twice a month instead of every week or something like that.
With the off season.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I enjoyed it. It was fun. I enjoyed the banter. Enjoyed having the platform. Enjoy the questions from the fans. Somebody on there said, I read them. I just can't write back to them. But somebody on there said, Patterson said that quote a while ago. No, he said that Friday when I talked to him. Unless Friday counts as a while ago.
You never know.
But yeah, no. And anybody who's on here, guys, as the Rush guys know, but any of the audience members, hit me up on Twitter anytime. As long as it's respectful, I don't mind a good debate. So
yeah, man, we're glad we got to hang out with you each week. We had a lot of fun with it. We'll do some more stuff, and we'll talk to you next week. And I'll hit you up during the week, and we'll game plan for the off season.
All right, sounds good. I'll see you
Thanks,
guys.
Ryan.
Appreciate you,
Thanks,
man.
Ryan.
Appreciate you. And gentlemen, we're gonna get into comments of the one last drive. So I'll let you guys. Let me tee
We got
this
some
up
good
here.
questions in there, I think.
All right. Well, we're gonna get to
As
all
I was
those
reading
questions.
through.
Let me find the.
By the way, just real quick, why are we worried about that? Why is he a top candidate? Because Shermer wanted him as his OC back in 2018. Like, what did Shermer do here that should be a reason why he's a top candidate?
I don't think that was what you think. I don't think that. I think they were saying that they like him because they got a chance to meet him earlier in 2018. That's the way I took it.
He didn't. No, they didn't meet him. She just said Shermer wanted him as his OC, and guys remember that because there's still guys here from two. Why do we keep going back to the past? Did we not learn our lesson from hiring a retread from the Browns with Shermer?
Listen, I don't want Stefanski, but me personally don't think any of that comes into play because like Mike McCarthy.
It does. We know how the Giants operate. We know how Tim McDonald operates. We know how John Mara operates.
It's only 32 teams, right? There's 32 teams, 32 coaches. Like these guys all cycle through. I mean, Mike McCarthy interviewed with the Giants twice and didn't get the job. He's going to come back for the third time.
Okay, but hold up. That first time, that's because 2020, this was not an attractive job. That's why we couldn't get him.
He turned it down.
Yeah, he turned it down.
I'm just making a point that guys are going to come in and out of your system at one point just because they like that the word Stefanski came up and they're like, hey, yeah, we really like him. Doesn't mean they still like him as much now. It's a familiar name that creates conversation.
They're hiding him. Ian O'Connor came out and said,
Sean, though, that it does.
Ian O'Connor came out and said he's going to jump to the top of their list. So Ian O'Connor's saying it, and Art Stapleton's been saying it all day today too.
Yeah.
Like, and
whereas
Schwartz,
like
I think said it.
He's going to be like he's down the list because there's no connections to the Giants whatsoever. So like that dude's down the list, even though he's had teams rolling, right?
Yeah.
Again,
that's how they operate.
All of them do. Again, I'm not defending the Giants, but they all do it. They all do it.
The bad teams do it. Well, the good teams don't have to rehire good coaches. The teams that get it right are the ones that look at all-encompassing features of what makes a good coach and makes decisions based on that. Not the Giants where they predetermine who they already kind of like and then figure out from there, A, who gives the most bonery answers to what the Giants want to hear, and B, can they call Bill Parcells or Bill Belichick and say, hey, was this a good cat? Yeah, he was a good guy. Yeah, sure. When I worked with him in 2013.
But they do that to Andy Reid. They do that to other stuff. Like, it doesn't just happen here. It hasn't worked out for us. I'm just saying the process of hiring people who they know is an NFL staple. It's just an NFL staple. We haven't gotten it right. Shame on us, right? I'm just saying, like, every coach in the NFL is reaching back for guys that they know, or they're reaching out for, and they're calling Harbaugh and Andy Reid, and they're, hey, can you vouch for this guy?
They're doing that, but
yeah, of course,
Giants just do it differently and in a wrong way. I just want to clarify something Mark's saying because I can't put anything in the comments either. Mark, yeah, he's not saying he didn't say it before, but Ryan specifically asked him on Friday, and he got that answer. Like, he specifically asked him about it
because we've been talking about it.
Yeah, so he said it more than once. I'm sure he gave that answer the same way before, but he also gave it recently as well. So just to clear that up.
Yeah, because we brought it up. All right, let's get into one last drive. All right, we're wrapping the show, but one last drive. We're going to go back and take all your questions and try to answer them. I'll feed them to Spartan and Sean. Let me go all the way back to the show opening. And by the way, always, what's up, people? As Alex, all the marks. We've got like 4 marks. We got Humble. JT's even back in the room. I hope I don't miss any of you guys. K-Mac is here. Like I said, all 3 marks. Gino's here. I'm rolling through this quickly, but, appreciate all you guys. Rob is here. All you guys popped in, hang out with us. Let's see. Fire Bowen. Love the Fire Bowen. Hooked us up a couple weeks ago. Two Toes in the house. Thanks for the sticker, Two Toe. Throw that up. Thank you very much. Salute to you as an OG and the rest of you guys that are here. Let's get to your questions because Sean said there is a lot of them. So let's see what we can find. Yes, and Happy New Year. Callahan was already fired. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. I was just reading you the list of guys. The only guy I didn't say was Dable. The guys that got fired were Callahan, Morris, Stefanski, Carroll, and Gannon and Dable. Let's see. Ryan, Sean. Oh, here we go. this is one for you, Spartan. What exactly does Tish do?
Tish sits back and collects royalty checks from the movie for which Sean Shirt represents, Forrest Gump. That's right. He was an executive producer of Forrest Gump. He sits back, waits for the royalties to come in, doesn't actually care. He lives out in Los Angeles, guys. He is not a New York guy. He has no ties to the team. He is a silent owner. Only twice have I known him to come in and say, what the F is going on? 2018, when we're midway through another disaster year, he flew out and apparently chewed up the whole front office. And 2022, when the Giants wanted to bring Judge back, even though they were going to have Gettleman leave. I mean, that would have been the dumbest thing in human history with the Giants. But Tish put his foot down there. Unfortunately, and I was kind of hoping he would put his foot down here, but he didn't.
Which is a good segue here for you, Sean. JT wants to know, so if Shane is here to the end of his contract, he wasn't extended?
I don't think they're going to put it out there because I don't want to influence the head coach search, but I would not be surprised if something would change during the interview process. They're going to have to extend him at some point because if you're going to keep him and legit keep him, you can't have him as a lame duck GM with the coach. So something's got to be said, unless they're just having him do the head coach search so they don't have to put in all the work and then they're getting rid of him afterwards, which would be stupid as well, because then you're going to have a coach that was hired by a different GM. So I don't know what they're doing, why they're doing it, but they obviously were not prepared for this, which again, just stupid is as stupid does.
All right, I'll take this one. How pathetic was the Giant statement? So there's a couple things. You're not going to want to hear the answer, right? So is it easier for me, K-Mac? You know, I love you to death, but like, do you want me just to say, yeah, it was pathetic? Because there's so many other things going on, right? John Maris not writing some long statement right now in between chemo treatments, right? Like the guy is out. The guy is, got, brain cancer. There's a lot going on. I don't think you're going to get some drawn out statement. Everybody knows it's bad. They can't defend it. What would you want them to do or say? Because I just listened to the Browns after getting rid of Stefanski. Their owner's a little bit younger than John and in a little bit better health. But he said the same thing over and over and over again. The same thing. They all say the same thing. It's unacceptable. We'll do better next year. And only one team gets to say, hey, everything we said we were going to do, we did. Right? We're only one winner. I just don't know. I wouldn't consider anything that upper management is pathetic. You know what was pathetic? They did the medium Pepsi thing was pathetic. Like that was pathetic. Letting Kafka not let Dart throw the ball 2 weeks ago was pathetic, right? Because everybody was like, man, I knew Dart sucked. It wasn't Dart. It was freaking lame ass Kafka. I mean, the guy's a joke. He's got the locker room laughs at him. He's got no control. He's giving out game balls because he's ass kissing. Like, I mean, it's just terrible. That was pathetic. I don't know if the statement was pathetic or not. I don't look at it like that. I looked at it it's a staple. You got to do it every year when you're bad. Somebody churn out something that has different words in it than the one the year before, and out it goes. It's a staple.
You know what the problem is? The statement is meaningless. What would have been a good statement today is if they fired Joe Shane and held themselves to a standard, but they don't do that anymore because the Giants suck and they lost sight of who they are.
Yeah. And
last year wasn't good enough and it better turn around real quick. And they did the same thing.
They don't have the guts. The Giants do not hold standards to general managers. It's a very GM-centric organization, and we've had it 3 times now where they fire the head coach, they keep the GM, it utterly fails because there's a talent issue. They think it's going to fix the next time. It absolutely doesn't. The Giants do not hold GMs accountable because they don't want to fire GMs. Mara doesn't want to fire GM. It's hard. It's really hard to fire a GM. All right. Well, then you're going to lose, and you're going to keep losing, and the Giants are going to keep losing. We're not winning next year, guys.
And I hope they make me eat crow, and I'm wrong with thinking this way and feeling. I really do. I hope they make me look completely.
I would love nothing more.
This statement. Right.
Make me look
It's
terrible.
all about the head coach hire right now. They have to nail this. They have to.
They do. And the
That's another
coordinators. They got to
statement.
get the coordinators right.
That's the statement that needs to be made is don't just hire a head coach because it's easy. Don't just hire a head coach because they have experience. This is a job that's going to be coveted, absolutely coveted. Get the best guy because you can get the best guy.
And don't have biases. Stop it with the Giants leaning towards a certain thing, whatever thing or detail or whatever like the previous coach was bad at. The Giants always look at just that one thing for the next coach and completely ignore the multitude of things that a coach has to oversee. Oh, we didn't have enough attention to detail. We need more of an old school guy, a guy that yells at people. Yeah, a guy that yells at people. That's just going to do the trick. Then it doesn't do the trick. They lose the locker room. Okay, well, we need more of an offensive-minded guy, Then you get an offensive-minded guy, and then the offense still sucks. So figure out who's going to be the best head coach. It could be defensive-minded. It could be offense. It could be a former head coach. It could be a new head coach. Could be an assistant, like wide receiver coach Tom Coughlin. Figure it out.
I got to call foul on that for one specific reason. We all thought Brian Dable was that guy. And two, the front office all thought that was the guy.
No, of course. So every time they hire these coaches, they think they're the guy.
No, that's not true. Nobody really knew Judge was the right guy. They only liked that he was a Bill Belichick wannabe disciplinarian, and that's what we needed. No one knew if he could coach. They weren't like, that's the best guy. They literally said
that wasn't their top option. I'll give you that.
Yeah,
but let's be real. Shermer was a reactionary hire.
Yes.
Shermer was absolutely reactionary. Oh,
sure.
McAdoo lost control of the team. We need like an old sturdy guy. That's what we need right now. Sturdiness, and that's what
we need.
You got.
An adult in the room.
Yeah, and I didn't hate Shermer because he was a good offensive mind, but he wasn't the head coach, right? He wasn't
like, all these guys suck. All these guys are freaking losers because they're terrible head coaches because they don't ask the right things during interviews and they hone in on the wrong things.
We don't know.
The Dable process was not that bad. I agree with you. That one.
No, Dable and the Shane process was good. The problem is that Mara didn't back away. He interfered. He forced the quarterback on him. He forced some other things on him. And say what you want, but the quotes are out there. Everything's out there on what he did in that situation. So that's the problem. They finally hire the right people, and then you interfere. And you handcuff what they're able to do. And he did change Dable. And listen, I'm going to get on Dable because Dable didn't have the cojones enough.
Fire Bowen.
That and also stand up to Mara and say, "Hey, look, I'm gonna keep the play calling. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna coach my way. I'm gonna have that attitude." Meyer was so damn worried about optics and hearing that he didn't. Who cares if he was tough on coaches? It's what the players thought. And how many players today had said, "Oh my God, we love Dable. He was great. He gave me this, he gave me that." And it wasn't just being nice and I can't think of the word right now. It was genuine. Dart, Scatterbo, genuine with that. So yeah,
listen, for the next coach, one thing they definitely got to hone in on is, the attention to detail aspect, the sloppiness with the penalties, the sloppiness with the pre-snap penalties. Like, this crap has to go away.
Yeah, but they weren't a highly penalized team. Spartan, they weren't a highly penalized team. But the issue that they had holistically was the team wasn't tough enough. They were too soft. The defense from front to end wouldn't tackle. Let's just call it what it is. If Dable fires Bowen, he's still coaching. He's still the head coach.
Hey, Craig, just an FYI, we were fourth in the league in penalties.
Fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're bad.
That sounds high, but okay, that's fine. If that's what
like
it
a
is.
team like the Rams has half the penalties we do.
Because we didn't lose games because of penalties. We lost games because the defense couldn't close out 5 games, Mike. We lost 5 games in under 10 minutes because we didn't have an offense. We just heard what
definitely the most important. But hey, I am going to say this: it wasn't just coaching, man. We had a player issue. We have really crappy players in the secondary and for linebacker. And I know Micah McFadden was hurt.
Well, yeah. The team is like what Sean said. The team is closer. Anytime, look, I read you this out. Only 3 quarterbacks threw more. Denver's going to go to the fucking Super Bowl. Only 3 quarterbacks, Jones being one of them, threw for more yards than Dart did against the Broncos. Dart had 4 touchdowns against the Broncos. We should have won the Saints and the Bears. All these games, if we had a real defensive coordinator and a defense that wants to play for him. Dable lets Carter sleep in meetings and come late. Can't do that. He's not LT, right? You just said it, Mike. Shane didn't go get a linebacker when McFadden went down. Bobby Okereke played basically asleep at the wheel till week 14.
And our DNs next to Dex, I mean, might as well just be sandbags. They do nothing.
I know.
But here's the thing. I'm not judging anybody in that defense outside of Deontay Banks because of Bowen. Like, we've seen the difference. Even Bobby O has stepped it up since Bolin has taken over. So I'm not going to say like last year, like last year we said, hey, we're not going to judge Bowen because the offense was so putrid and Daniel Jones putrid. I'm not going to judge players. Like Paulson Debo was playing well up until the injury. And then you have guys that Holland and Debo this year, because of what Bowen did, it's the worst year they've had in their careers. And Holland stepped it up before he got injured with Bolin. So yes, we need some more depth, but this is not a defense of Shane by any stretch of the imagination, but there is more talent on this team than people realize. There are holes and they need to fix some holes, but there is more talent than realize. And I'm not judging the defense outside of Deontay Banks until we get a real defensive coordinator, because we've seen what Bolin has done with these guys, and everybody, including Chauncey Golston, have stepped up in the last couple of games that he's played under Bolin and made a difference. So
I said that.
Give me a real DC, and then let's see what these guys can do, because it's a complete difference. They are playing faster. They are playing aggressive. They're where they need to be. So that's what I want to see. So
I think you're right on there. Because Golston all of a sudden is playing.
But Shane, with his kicker management, with the receiver mismanagement, with
that
all of
causes
that,
to
with
lose.
the game they roster, like why are you elevating Turbo Miller not to even play him? Why are you signing him not to play him? Why doesn't he get? Why are some of these other guys not getting playing time? That's where he needs to fix it, and he needs to have another good draft like he had this last year. That's a given. He nailed this draft. There's no doubt about it. He nailed last year's draft.
Well,
he's got to do it again, and he's got to,
You're gonna and we'll move on to this question in 30 seconds here. We're gonna see if this is the drafts that we had that one draft that was abysmal, right? So he's got himself like 2 drafts that brought in some pretty good talent, right? And then that really bad one in the middle. We're gonna find out in April if it was Dabes and Shane working side by side saying, yo, I really need Alexander. I need Alexander. Get me Alexander. Get me Bo. Like, we're going to see, right?
Well, that's a good point, but I doubt it so much for a particular position like that. Quarterback, yes, but probably not for the defensive lineman.
I'm just saying we're going to find out.
But Shane did throw a wink under the bus today, saying that he drafted for scheme and he's not. And we've said that. I've said that a number of times on the show. That's what Shane has done. He's gotten players. That's why we had Banks. I don't know who would have went instead. But again, there's guys that we believe that Shane wanted. Like, he wanted Sanders over Dart. He wanted Roma Dunze over Neighbors, I believe, is what's out there. So you don't know. So we're going to see. So it's going to come down to, again, this is why the head coach hire is so important and the coordinator, because Shane works collaboratively with the coaches. Right. So he's not going to draft for scheme, but he's going to draft for guys who the coaches want and who are versatile. So we'll see. We'll see. This is his chance.
Because, Greg, to your point, are we that far away? No team's generally that far away. We're closer than the other teams that are in the dumps right now, but we have to nail the head coach. We have to nail offensive coordinator. We have to nail defensive coordinator. We cannot afford to have more boneheads at all these positions. Bottom 10 losers every time. It's been
Spartan,
10 years.
Then answer me this one. So you go out and you spend $15 million on a hometown product in Wandale Robinson. $15 million because Shane drafted him, and Shane does not want to admit that he was wrong by drafting him in the second round. So he's going to do everything possible to sign Wandale. We spend $15 million, but we know, any smart executive knows that Wandale is not a number one, cannot be your number one, and your number one is hurt. So if you go out and draft a wide receiver to be your number one until Neighbors is back, how do you justify the $15 million? Now you've got then Neighbors comes back from injury. How does Wandale justify the $15 million? Because how many receptions is this guy going to get? It's a great question from Greeny Green 4129.
The only way that's a good question. I think the way you justify it is you got to make it work. So you're going to bring it back? Fine. First of all, find a way to get Slayton off the team, then find a way to trade him and create some cap space. On top of that, whatever they do to make this a top 10 offensive unit, and that's the goal, top 12, top 10 offensive unit in football, go ahead and do it. Then I won't look back and complain at the cost. When I look back and start penny pitching, when we have the worst freaking defense in the NFL and we have the most expensive defense in the NFL at the same time, that's what we have right now. That I can't fathom. But you find a way to get top 10, I won't care about contract situations with Wandale. Trust me, I won't.
We have the answer, and it's the definitive answer, and there's no arguing against it. We know how many catches Wandale would have with Neighbors in the lineup. He had 90-plus catches last year.
No, I'm talking about if you draft another number one. So now you got...
No, I know, but I know, Green, I said something before about it. How many catches is Wandale going to have if Neighbors is in the lineup? He'll have 90-plus catches. He can absolutely do that.
No, what we're talking about in that scenario is you go out and draft, let's say you go out and draft, what's his name from Ohio State? Cardinal.
Tate. Yeah, Tate. Yep.
You draft Tate and you got Tate and Neighbors as 1 and 2. Wandale's not getting 90 catches.
No, but he's going to get a good amount because he's going to be that third down guy. And again, I mean, is 15 million really a lot? We paid 12 million for Slayton, who's the number 4 wide receiver.
It's only right? A lot if he regresses. If he goes and becomes the new Slayton or like falters back, then it's going to be a miss. If we're getting what we get out of him right now every year, then it won't be an issue.
Cold says 178 snaps over center when he looked at. Cole's got a new.
Out of how many?
Oh yeah,
out of how many total snaps?
Yeah, what was the percentage? Cole's got a new icon picture there. I didn't realize that was him. Let me see if I can find another.
You want to have 3 good receivers on this thing. So you're going to draft a receiver and you can pay Wandale and you're fine. You got Neighbors, Wandale. And again, we got in trouble because we only had Wandale. Like when we had Scatterbo, we had another thing to offset with Wandale to help balance that out, right? We lost Scatterbo. We didn't really have that. So if you draft a wide receiver and Neighbors isn't there, you have that wide receiver, you have Wandale, they're both going to do good. Where you have it in, and this goes with anybody. Even if we didn't have Wandale and we drafted a wide receiver and Neighbors is out, you need to have somebody there along with the drafted wide receiver.
100%. I think his point was that I wouldn't expect 90 catches out of Wandale if you have Tate and Neighbors.
But here's the thing, Craig. Here's the one thing that's nice when you do have all those good receivers is they're going to spend less time focusing on just Malik. And they're going to have to focus on everybody. And it's actually going to open all those guys up a little bit more. So the way you shut down the Giants offense week 1, double team Malik Neighbors, right? Of 2025. The way you stop the Giants, if you have Wandale and you have you actually draft a wide receiver in the first round. The goal here is to overwhelm teams in some capacity, right? Kind of the way on the defensive side, you have as many good pass rushers as possible. Do that with offense with wide receivers because it's only going to open them up more. While we have a young quarterback, it's going to really enable them to ball out. And it's going to bring a lot less pressure on everybody on the offense. It's going to enable us to succeed. And other teams are going to look at us and say they're a freaking problem. And that's what we want.
I call it the Mario Manningham complex because you had to worry because everybody was worried about Victor Cruz and Hakeem Nicks. And Mario Manningham had back-to-back really great years for 3 because everybody was working on Cruz and Nicks. I'll start with you, Spartan. Let's keep this one straight, simple. I don't need just give me your guy. Who do you guys want as the head coach? Name your top 3. Give me your top 3, Spartan.
Kubiak, Shula, and McCarthy. I'm going to go back to McCarthy. If you're going to go for a homer, if you're going to go for an OG guy, then go with him. I think you can put a competent staff together. That's absolutely critical to me. I know that there's a lot, he didn't win the playoffs. I'm happy with getting the playoffs right now. If we get to 5 years in, we're winning 10, 11, 12 games a year, and then we got to think about the next coach who's going to get us to the Super Bowl. I'll have that discussion. And by the way, he did win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, with the Packers. Okay, Sean, give me your 3.
Shula, Mentor, and then a tie with Hafley and Kubiak.
Interesting. Okay. My 3 isn't really an option, but I'm using it anyway. Mine is not in any specific order, but is Shula and Hafley, and then Harbaugh, would he be available? Yeah. I'm not really jazzed about McCarthy. I think he's already had 2 times. His time has come and gone. I don't see it. I don't think Minter's ready. I guess maybe if I was forced to come up with a guy, it would be Kubiak. I definitely do not under any circumstances, Stefan. I shouldn't say that. I don't hate Stefanski, but I don't love Stefanski. But Lou Amorano from the Colts, I don't have any.
No, do not
want.
touch. Do not
Yeah,
touch. I have a bad feeling the Giants have boners for him.
Yeah, I don't want that. I do not think that would be a wise move under any circumstances. In the beginning of this process, Fire Bowen, I was thinking that what's his name would have been good, Kingsbury. And then the more I read about Kingsbury, they're talking about if he didn't get fired today, he might get fired this week because Dan Quinn is fed up with the fact that he can't pivot in the middle of the game, and the offense just never evolves. With such a good quarterback, that Kingsbury is holding back the development of Jaden Daniels, and you can see he did nothing in Arizona. So I'm going to go with Shula, Hafley, and Harbaugh with a wild card of Kubiak.
It's funny. The three of us, a lot of people love Stefanski. The three of us are very and particularly not high on him.
No, and Cole did a good job with this. He found the stats.
He says I didn't acknowledge him, but I could swear I thought actually literally started with Colt. I think he was the first one I said.
Correct.
But so Dex was 40% of the snaps were over center. In 2022 was 68%, and then in 23 it was 72% and 60% in 24. So we obviously the snap counts don't lie. So I don't know what Andre Patterson's talking about. That is why we believe what we believe, and that's why we say what we say. All of us and fans, It's clear the numbers don't lie.
All right, wait. Cole, Mark has got one here. Let's see what it says. Do you guys think Schoen is weighing in on roster decisions because of Dable's inability to deal with those details? I don't know, man. I mean, no. Mark. I mean, Dable literally was like, it's Dart. They would have drafted freaking Sanders if Shane had any say. Dable was like, no, give me the Ole Miss kid. I mean, I don't. If Dable fires Bowen, he's still probably here. You know what I mean? Like Dable was, I mean, he didn't do everything right, but if he had a really good defensive coordinator that was like an assistant head coach, I think they would work well together. I just think Kafka sucks so bad that Dable and Kafka don't work well together. There's no continuity there. He needs a guy. Dable needed a guy that he can have like he does with Shane. I think he needed how Spags and Andy Reid are like, two peas in a pot kind of a thing. So
no, and Mark, man, he was saying week to week. Mark, no, listen. I know that things out there that Dable wasn't with details, but he was about details. Dable's problem was he was too lax with the players. He was a player's coach. It wasn't about his details. He is very detail oriented. You can't be that smart and run that kind of complicated offense without paying attention to the details. I think that's Shane's doing. I think Shane wants his hands in the roster decisions week to week. I think that's all of it because we've seen the same thing happen now with Kafka at the helm. And that has not changed from Daboll being fired. So to me, that says that Shane wants to be on the roster decisions. He wants to be like Billy Bean from, Moneyball. He wants to decide who's on the roster. So I think that is less to do with Daboll and more to do with Shane. Good question, Mark.
Spartan did not having a top wide receiver hurt us or did not being able to stop the run hurt us. Peter Woods is the pick.
Defense was by far the biggest issue we had this year, and Dart was able to make it work without a star wide receiver one. And in fact, he did what you want to see out of your good quarterbacks is, elevate everybody around him rather than, here's a bunch of star receivers. Go make it happen. Offense was by far not the issue this year. And I really actually don't think Malik Neighbors would have really improved us all that much. I'm not saying he's not good. He's a stud. But we would have gone to the red zone and probably run the same stupid boneheaded plays. I guarantee you. And then defense, I mean, not stopping the runs, part of why the defense sucked. But the pass coverage also sucks. Everything sucks about the defense, except we got two edges. So the pass rush is pretty good. Everything else blows.
It's interesting too because here's the thing: if you got another star wide receiver, Drew, you're not getting the quarterback's not running for his life as much, right? He's got more options downfield, right? But when you don't have options, it's like, okay, my small wide receiver's not open. my tight end's going to drop this thing. I got to run. Like if you got more options to throw the ball downfield, maybe he's taking less chances with running the ball and pulling it down and getting hurt, right? So if you have more options downfield, I think you just, he's running less. And again, I don't know, it's 1 and 1A, right? Yeah, stopping the run is bad because we have limited linebackers, and Dex had a terrible year, which we never saw coming. So guys like, Tibbs didn't do anything again. We all say he's worth it, but again, nobody wants to go and say, wow, we had Neal and Tibbs both are busts in the first round. I mean, it's insane. And by the way, Tibbs and Neal.
Hold on, I'm pushing back here. Tibbs had a very good year this year. He was just injured. That's the biggest concern. He's injured again. To say he didn't do anything, it's been proven this year that he improved against the run. Everything is out there. We gotta.
I would trade that dude in a heartbeat. I would trade.
I'm not saying don't trade him. He's injured. That's my biggest concern. But
I
Tibbs
get it. But he's
very good
not
this
injured.
season.
He's not that.
Very good. Very good. Everybody has said it. The difference he made against the run.
Yeah, everyone's saying he's wrong. He's so mid. He's so lukewarm and disappointing.
I mean, the people who actually, analyze football and
me and Craig analyze him, and it's not good.
Yeah, it's not 1.5 tackles
since day one because he doesn't do this.
He doesn't do
that.
He's not good.
Oh my God, you'll never give him any credit. You'll never give him every credit. And again,
towards my Giants,
the injury, he's not on the field enough. That's my issue. But to say he didn't do anything this year, it's just flat out wrong.
He did start.
No, it's not wrong. Anytime you have 1.5 tackles a game, it's not wrong. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
You can.
How are they using him? How did Bowen use him? He was dropping
the
a
guy
lot
does
too.
the guy
He set the
cannot
run,
play above the X's and O's.
What he was supposed
Burns
to do.
is using this. I mean, we talk about how guys are using for secondary. I can understand it, and for Carter a little bit, but it just isn't that good.
He's not.
That's bullshit. That is bullshit.
He never
that
plays
is bullshit. To
above
say
the
he's
X's
not
and
that
O's.
good is absolute bullshit.
You
can say he's injured. You can say he doesn't play enough. But to say he's not good, please.
You just said he was very good. He's not even in the. He was very good this
year.
He's lukewarm. I'm not going to say he's not good. He's just average.
He was very good this year. He was very. In fact, he was having one of his better years this year until he got injured. He was. He was more well-rounded, and everybody's even Ryan said it on this show. He was more well-rounded.
Kayvon Thibodeau is not even a top 25 defensive end in the league. Okay. That's it. The guy was a top 5 pick, and he averages 1.5.
If he doesn't get injured as much as he does, his numbers are going to be higher. Bottom line. Bottom line. My issue with Tibbs is he's not on the field enough. That's it.
He's a nice player.
I'm not saying don't trade him, but to say he wasn't good this year,
he was a nice player if he was a second-round player.
He's lukewarm. He's not good. He's just not good.
Exactly.
Did I say it wasn't good?
Wrong. You're both wrong.
No, yeah. Trust me, the rest of the league feels the same way.
We're wrong together, man.
Yeah, you guys are wrong together.
I don't know one. I don't know one cat that likes Tibbs.
I'm just saying. Because I'm the one that predicted Wande was going to have a breakout year this year. I predicted that Darius Alexander was going to do well. He did.
Didn't you tell us Shedeur Sanders was going to be a quarterback?
Yeah, and you wanted Shedeur Sanders.
I did too.
Yeah, you guys should listen to me a little more often about things.
Yeah, we did. And Shedeur Sanders sucks ass just like does.
Actually, Sanders does not suck ass. Listen, let me tell you something about Sanders.
We're not doing that.
Well, let me say
turn your mic off. We're not doing it. Don't bring it up. We're not doing it. We're not doing
Sanders with Kevin Stefanski.
See, I had to turn his mic off because I can't listen to anything about Sanders.
I will eat crow on my Sanders take. I had no idea what the hell I was talking about, and I still don't.
Give Spartan shit. We both were high on Sanders.
Yeah, well, I'm not defending it anymore. You are.
Yeah, you're still.
I'm just saying I think it'll be good, but I'm glad we have Dart. Absolutely. And
there
remember,
you go.
I didn't say
Tibbs not a bust, but he isn't great. He's know. Yeah, that's it, Mark.
I didn't say he was great, but I said he was very good this season until he got injured.
I'm going to say he's top 75 defensive ends, maybe top 60.
Oh my God,
that's not good enough.
Top 60? Is that what
top 35?
Get the out of here.
I can come up with higher. I can come up with 30 better.
Please. Okay, go ahead.
I can come up with 30.
We don't have enough time, but
we don't have enough time. We're already well over.
No. All right.
Right.
That's all the questions that I see in here. The only one that I didn't put up here was, does Sean actually know what he's talking about? He doesn't. No, but I'm not. We don't need to answer.
Wow. That's all right. I've been right more than wrong. I'm just gonna say that. I have been right more than I've been wrong.
Thinks it. It's in his mind.
In fact, I got even Ryan Dudley admitted I was right.
I told him to say that to make you feel good.
Of course, that's fine. Make me feel better.
But listen, you guys, we've had a great year, even though, Spartan. I'm going to pronounce it wrong, but can you announce the name of the winner of the fantasy football draft?
We're all trying to figure out who you are. I think, Sean, did you get him into the league?
I did. I spoke to him today.
You did? Okay, cool. Because he won the league.
Well, actually, I don't know if I got him into the league because I don't know who he is. I don't know.
So, we were all struggling, but we found him.
I don't have a name. I don't know anything. So
I'm number 1, Doug number 2, number 3, Parag, and Steph Smalls. Congratulations.
Yep. And Marat. Oh my God. Oh man, I'm gonna butcher it. Shakondon, Marat Shakondon won the fantasy football. So I'm gonna be he sent me his address today. He lives in Arizona, so I'm gonna package up his package and send it out because I gotta tell you, he was the last one to sign up and then came in like a house on fire. So we had a great fantasy football league. Spartan, how'd you do?
I was doing great until I started purposely losing because I'm not allowed to win, right, Craig?
No,
I had to bench everybody.
You can't say that.
While I benched everybody, I was still winning. So I literally just removed people from my roster.
Don't listen to Spartan either now. Don't listen to either one of them because Spartan actually won 2 years ago. He won the whole thing 2 years ago, and we still gave the grand prize to the person that was runner up, which was Joe. So I guess what I will do is before I sign up, do you guys want to see the grand prize or part of it?
Do it.
Right.
Yeah.
I will roll.
And Mark, Alexander was
all right, guys. Say whatever you want about Craig. He's not here.
Yeah, right. Alexander got better when Bolin took over, just like everybody else.
All right.
I'm fired.
This is what's going to our fantasy football.
That's nice. Fresh Banks jersey.
Yeah.
Wow, signed.
Yeah, very nice
stuff, Craig.
And it's the jerseys that we all love, the 1986 ones.
Absolutely.
So that'll be part of the grand prize for Marat. And then we'll create some prize packages for the other runner-up. Thanks for playing. Thanks for hanging out. Yes, another crappy season. But again, I'll leave you with this. We do have some players, right? Dart, Scattaboo, Wandale, Burns. We do have some good players on this team. We're not as far as we are, but we can make excuses till we're blue in the face. We need a good coach. We need good coordinators. And, this team's going to have to put a better product on the field. We'll see you guys next Monday.
Wait, guys, real quick before we go, I did want to say, let's all give it up for Craig real quick. Let's give him some respect because he's been doing this for 10 years. Same show, running it season after season. And, he's a season ticket holder. And above all, if anyone deserves better from the Giants, it's him.
Thanks, man.
Every game since 1980, 84, except for 9. Is that it?
So I missed 2 this year. So I'm up to 11. You believe it or not, I'm up to 11 since 1986.
No, you give us a good platform here, Craig. So we appreciate it.
Well, you know what?
We do.
We have cold is killing me. Look,
I know.
I would expect nothing different, cold, nothing different. So I do. Listen, man, we have a lot of fun. Appreciate you guys. And you know what I say every year? I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. These guys suck, right? I'm holding on. I'm holding on that we make the playoffs next year as a wild card, and then we go to the Super Bowl in 2027, and then we all toast some glasses and we go off into the sunlight and we bury Giants Rush in the backyard. All right. With that said, I'm looking for the end of the show because I can't find it later.